Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Scrap Empire. My name is Zach Hayes, and today I'm going to be talking about this upcoming bout for UFC Fight Night this Saturday. Today we're going to be talking about Alexander Volkov versus Ciryl Gane. Now, two excellent fighters, great resumes, extraordinary reputations in the UFC. Both already developed a beautiful foundation in how in their fighting styles and respected all across the world. However, I will say this: both fighters are very technical and tactical when it comes to their striking ability. So which fighter is going to thrive this Saturday night? Well, let's start analyzing Alexander Volkov. Now, when I saw him fight Stefan Struve again, he's not necessarily poised like a mongoose, but he hits with, you can tell that he focuses on trying to really hurt you, because he's an extremely stiff puncher. He's not really like, I don't really see any fluidity I don't really see any fluidity in his striking ability. But every punch is going to contribute towards some type of damage. And if he keeps on hitting you with those shots over and over and over again, then eventually he'll be able to do some extreme damage to you. Now, Stefan Struve is one of the tallest mixed martial arts fighters in history, and he's the tallest UFC fighter in history. 7'7". So if anything, he should be able to give Alexander Volkov a masterclass jab session and be able to dominate him. But that's not what I saw when he fought Volkov. Maintain the distance. Even though he didn't have the reach advantage, he was still landing strikes, but they weren't inside strikes. He wasn't landing any clinch strikes. He was landing a lot of straight punches. And that's what's interesting about styles. There's always a counterpart to combat a specific method or style. So if a person's taller than you, you might have the perception that he's able to utilize his reach. But if you're shorter and you know how to move around, and you know how to cut angles, and you know how to bring your world into his fight, now you're giving yourself the advantage as well. So Volkov is extremely strong. He isn't susceptible towards being put on the ground for a very long time. I mean, I'm just talking about what I've seen from the Stefan Struve fight. You can tell he has a lot of pride and self-respect just from the way he walks into the ring. So, very interesting to see an excellent fighter like Volkov exemplify what it means to be an excellent mixed martial arts fighter. Now, when I see Ciryl Gane, now he's one of the most, not of all time, but he's one of the most just flashy fighters I've ever seen At least I'm talking about in this era, not of all time, because of course we've seen other of light heavyweights, middleweights, you know, dominate with the flashy style as well. Because when I see him fight, he looks big, but he moves like a lightweight. So he's just very, very relaxed, just very, you know, he's extremely chill when he's trying to, like find angles to throw the strikes. Like I remember I was watching one fight. He was when Ciryl Gane was fighting his opponent, he's just very just relaxed. He's just so confident in just the way how he's confident and he keeps his hands up. And from a perception standpoint, you would think that it's not really good to be relaxed, or it isn't good to, fight like that. But, it's effective for him, and he's able to land some great strikes as well. And again, both fighters know how to strike. Both fighters know how to throw the elbows. Both fighters know how to throw the fists, how to throw a punch. Both fighters know how to throw the knee. Both fighters know how to throw a kick. It's just Ciryl Gane is just extremely just loose. He's very loose for someone who's fighting for someone who weighs over 200 pounds. When you weigh that much and you're able to still move as smooth as he's able to move, I'm not saying he'll be able to be heavyweight champion of the world. I'm not saying that. But he definitely has a lot of potential just off of the way he moves. He exemplifies masterclass MMA fighter in terms of his style and the way how he carries himself. But again, when you find somebody like Volkov as well, he isn't really worried about fighting smooth, right? Because usually a lot of smooth fighters, they have power, but it's through technique, right? But Volkov, you can just tell just off his frame, he's an extremely strong guy. But again, like I said from the beginning, there's always going to be a counterpart against a specific martial art. Just like in the UFC. UFC 1, you had Royce Gracie, who's 130 pounds, 5'6", 5'7", putting guys like Ken Shamrock, who's, between 6'2" to 6'4", and weighs at minimum 280 pounds. And he's put him in the headlock as if he's just a little child. There's always going to be a counterpart against a specific style. That's the beauty of pugilism. That's the beauty of fighting. That's the beauty of mixed martial arts. So many different types of styles. And hopefully we can figure out a way to have true fighting again. When we saw what true fighting was like, okay, if this continues to keep on going on, people might start dying. So of course, rules and regulations had to be applied to the sport to keep it more safe and to keep everything more sanctioned, which is why UFC is such a thriving sport today, because you have sanctioning bodies all across. You have UFC is its own sanctioning body. When you watch boxing, you have boxing is all across the world, but there isn't a main global governing body that gives each fighter that gives each weight class one belt compared to the UFC. For boxing, you just have sanctioning commissions. So you have the WBC, you have the WBA, and then you have the IBF. But even at that, there's still too many belts. That's just exactly why the UFC wanted to keep it. This is exactly why the UFC wanted to have a governing body, because we're always going to have fights that appeal us, like this upcoming Saturday. And when you have fights that appeal you, that's what gives competition substance, and that's exactly what you need when you're fighting. I mean, that's exactly what you need when you want to obtain an audience. You want to develop a strong fan base, not in your native region nor your native country, but worldwide. And UFC is definitely showing us that they're doing an excellent job giving us the fights that we deserve. So, my prediction on who's going to win this fight, I would have to say Ciryl Gane. Because yes, Volkov is strong. Yes, Volkov is a very stiff puncher who's trying to kill you with every strike that he throws. Ciryl Gane is still tactical. And with your ability to be tactical against your opponent, you will always have an advantage, because once you master the basics in anything, that will allow you to have foundation. And once you create foundation, now you're able to manipulate ring distance. Now you're able to show that ground defense. But that's only going to come with you mastering the basics. It's not really about you being the strongest. It's not really about you being the fastest. It's really about utilizing the basics and just sticking to one style that suits your body type when the fight actually starts to happen. So, everybody, please like and subscribe to my content. It's such an honor to be speaking to you guys today. And I'm going to be posting more videos soon. So, all of you guys have an amazing day today. And I hope everybody's doing well with themselves. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel. Tell a friend if you're interested in more content. And guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you.